What if the fate of the next Lakers dynasty isn't forged in the usual fires of superstar signings or blockbuster trades, but rather in a moment of uncanny timing, an overlooked opportunity rising quietly amidst the chaos? Could the difference between championship glory and another all-season of regret depend on the unlikeliest of moves? A shadowy piece slipping back into the purple and gold mosaic that no one saw coming? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama. Now, settle in, because what I'm about to unravel isn't just another trade rumor. It could be the very key that unlocks the Lakers' championship window that's been closing, then flickering faintly, season after season. It's a story rooted in front office chess, salary cap gymnastics, and an old friend who might just be the missing jolt the Lakers desperately need. Picture this: the Sacramento Kings, a team swimming in guard talent yet drowning in salary cap headaches, might be forced to make a move no one anticipated, a move that could send Malik Monk back to Los Angeles, a player whose name hasn't dominated headlines, but whose impact could reverberate through Staples Center like a thunderclap. You're probably wondering, why the Kings? Why does Sacramento's chaos impact us? It's complicated, but the ripple effects are too big to ignore. Since free agency opened, the Kings and Russell Westbrook have been circling each other like predators waiting for prey, both eager to make moves but shackled by locked-up contracts and a logjam at the guard position. Devin Carter, freshly drafted, and Malik Monk, a proven scorer who's found himself squeezed out, loom as the sacrificial pawns in this high-stakes game of NBA musical chairs. The Kings' backcourt landscape has shifted dramatically from De'Aaron Fox and Kevin Huerter to now featuring Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Dennis Schrader, and emerging talents like Keon Ellis. Add to that the looming contract extension for Keegan Murray, and you have a perfect storm of cap space scarcity that demands a purge. Monk, once a one-year prove-it guy who absolutely proved it with 31 minutes, a night averaging 17 points and nearly 6 assists, might be the unlucky one pushed out. But here lies the Lakers' golden crack open, a chance to snatch a player familiar with these courts and this organization, someone who embodies both the spark and the scoring punch the Lakers' second unit sorely lacks. Remember that gut-wrenching playoff series against the Timberwolves? The bench was a sieve, the offense limping, and the trusted rotation dangerously thin. Even after key additions like Marcus Smart, Deandre Bembry, and Jake LaRavia, cracks remain. The Lakers need a true microwave scorer, someone who can flip the switch instantly, and Malik Monk's game screams instant offense. He's a player who thrives in transition, can play both on and off the ball, and crucially, is not intimidated by the moment, a vital trait in a roster dominated by stars who demand others step up. And unlike others circling the roster, who bring defensive limitations or scoring inconsistencies, Monk offers athleticism, experience alongside LeBron and some present Lakers, and the maturity of a 27-year-old at his peak. But what about the pesky contracts? Here's where the reality bites a contract carrying around $8 million this year and a player option next doesn't perfectly align with the Lakers' roadmap toward cap flexibility by 2027. Yet, there's room for maneuvering. The Lakers hold expiring contracts in Maxi Kleber and Gabe Vincent that could be packaged to make the numbers work. Or maybe even Hibbert Mora, a name floating quietly in trade talks, could stir the pot to sweeten the deal. It's a puzzle, but one that Rob Pelinka's front office has proven willing to solve when the stakes are high enough. And given the Lakers' clearer structure and relative stability compared to the mess of the Kings' front office dysfunction, there's a strong chance the Kings might miscalculate and let Monk slip away at a bargain price. It would be rich. Irony if the Lakers ended up dealing with the very Kings who are eyeing Westbrook, the polarizing figure who almost became a Lakers nightmare, except this time. Instead of Westbrook, the Lakers gain a player they desperately need to fix their second unit's rattling offense. Imagine reuniting a locker room dynamic that, for all its flaws, gave Monk the growth platform playing alongside LeBron, adjusting to different star-centric offenses, and carving out a role as the spark off the bench. Could this be the quiet move that flips the Lakers from playoff hopefuls to championship contenders? As always, the question looms, what will be given up? What sacrifices would the purple and gold have to swallow to absorb Monk's deal? Would the Lakers risk cap space, future flexibility, or bench depth to ink this reunion? And what does this mean for Reeves, Austin, or Marcus Smart already locked in as ball handlers? Would Monk's arrival shift the entire second unit chemistry? This offseason may be slow on the surface, but beneath it, these are tectonic shifts with seismic ramifications. Malik Monk's name might not have been whispered widely in trade rumors yet, but sometimes the quietest moves turn out to be the most explosive, especially when the stakes are as high as trying to reclaim the Lakers' throne. As a lifelong Lakers fan, I can't help but feel there's a storm gathering on the horizon, an opportunity wrapped in uncertainty, a chance to rewrite what seemed like a stalled, frustrating chapter of Lakers history. The echoes of past champions remind us that timing and seizing the hidden opening often define dynasties more than flashy headlines or marquee signings. So, is this the start of a new empire? Or the beginning of our unraveling? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading everyone. Listen up, Lakers Nation. This is not the time for calm or patience. You want truth? Here it is. Bringing Malik Monk back isn't just a roster move, it's a seismic, heart-racing declaration that this franchise refuses to settle for mediocrity in a conference that's about to explode into chaos. You can feel it in the air, the pressure mounting on LeBron James like the weight of every Lakers dream carried since '99. Every comeback tale since Kobe's last kiss of glory. Every ounce of fight that's built the legend of this team. If Monk steps through that purple and gold curtain again, he's not just another cog in the machine. He's the thunderclap that could shake Anthony Davis free from the relentless burden of having to be the singular savior night after night. Remember, AD has carried so much the defensive anchor, the offensive hammer, often with no consistent support, no reliable bench firepower, no cushion when the stars go cold or when injuries strike. That's why this potential Monk revival isn't simply about adding points off the bench. It's about freeing AD to breathe, to blossom as the dominant force we all know he was built to be without having to drag the whole damn roster uphill on his own. And LeBron? Man, Bron's legacy rides on this too, because if the Lakers claw their way back to contention on the shaky, uncertain legs of a veteran squad with a splash of unexpected chemistry, it's another chapter in the immortal story of Bron as the ultimate orchestrator. Not just a scorer, but a man who can bring back a forgotten piece and turn it into gold. It's every highlight reel we've ever obsessed over, every clutch pass, every veteran nod pulling disparate pieces into a deadly rhythm. But here's the kicker: the shadow of Bronny's rise looms large, a silent countdown ticking as the King's reign edges toward its twilight. Will Monk's arrival be the kind of bridge that allows Bronny's emergence to be seamless, to grow without the crushing expectation that this team must win now? Or will it complicate things, shift minutes and roles, fracturing a delicate young foundation? The front office tension here is palpable. Jeannie Buss holds her ground, fiercely protective of the Lakers' identity and history, unwilling to sell out the team's soul to a flashy billionaire who's looking for instant headlines and disruption. But what if the darkness in that silence is deeper than we think? What if behind the closed doors, whispers of billionaires circling the franchise are growing louder, more insistent, threatening to fracture decades of loyalty for cold cash and chaotic shakes? Genie's balancing act is priceless physics holding, the tightrope over an abyss where legacy and greed could collide in a way that either reinvigorates or nearly kills the purple and gold heartbeat forever. And let's not kid ourselves, this isn't just about the Lakers. This potential Monk deal could send shockwaves ripping through the entire Western Conference, because we all know the Warriors are waiting. Their dynasty still flickering like a candle burner on the edge, but not yet extinguished. If the Lakers, yeah. The Lakers start to build a bench like ours once was in the 80s Showtime era. If Monk's instant offense unlocks new fast break avenues, if a D feels less alone and Braun lays down elder statesman brilliance, can Golden State keep up? Or will Steph's splash reputation crack under pressure? Now imagine if the Nuggets sense a weakened Lakers juggernaut, sharpening their teeth for another deep playoff run. If Phoenix's Booker finds rhythm with an empowered bench. If the Clippers, soaked in all-season whispers themselves, pounce on any slight Lakers misstep to steal thunder and confidence. These ripples don't stop at Staples. They swirl all the way to Denver, to Phoenix, to Chase Center, turning the West into a powder keg. But there's more, far more. We've seen this script before, haven't we? The Lakers dynasty birthed in the vintage 80s after years of uphill struggle. The 2000s three-peat with Shaq and Kobe, where everything just clicked like a perfect storm. The revenge saga of 2010 after the brutal Celtics losses. And of course, the 2020 bubble banner that felt like the world paused, just to celebrate a triumph forged in unprecedented adversity. Each time, the key was a blend sprinkle of perfect timing, a missing piece, a dark horse stepping up when no one expected. Monk, in his way, fits that mold. But what if this gamble backfires? What if the salary cap gymnastics break us? What if the chemistry splinters Reeves' rising star, or the coveted Marcus Smart loses his identity in the shuffle? What if this reunion ends up a wolf in sheep's clothing, another false dawn in the saga of Lakers rebuilding pain? We've all felt the sting of dashed hopes, like that '07 playoff collapse that crushed a generation's faith, or the chaotic seasons post-Kobe where rebuilding felt like being stuck in quicksand fast enough to drown the soul, but slow enough to prolong the agony. What if we're just chasing ghosts again? But here's what I see beneath this brewing storm, a fierce determination, raw and unfiltered, pulsing through the veins of every fan who ever screamed at the Jumbotron, whoever stayed to the closing buzzer, whoever shed tears over the purple and gold. This is more than basketball, it's identity. The monolithic spirit of Lakers fans built on suffering, triumph, and relentless hunger. If Malik Monk walks back through those locker room doors, he carries more than just stats. He carries a second chance, a flicker of hope that this fractured team might become the juggernaut we crave. As a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming: the pendulum swinging, not just between wins and losses, but between a franchise with its soul intact or one unraveling under pressure. The stakes? Immense. A dynasty rescuer or a cautionary tale. The heat of this moment burns brighter than ever. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop your rawest take below. Every true believer in purple and gold. Is Malik Monk the missing spark or a costly distraction? Will LeBron reign supreme yet again, or pass the torch to a new generation under siege? Do we rise or do we fall? This isn't just Lakers basketball. It's the heartbeat of a city, a legacy, and a dream fragile as it is ferocious. What happens next? Man, I'm on the edge trying to catch my breath, and you should be too.